Welcome to Oilers Nation Every Day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
In honor of last night's preseason game, today's show will also be brought to you on the Jumbotron feed. Let's get into it with the lead. Last night, my favorite part about watching those games is when middle of the play, like 30 seconds after a goal, and all of a sudden you just get the big like goal thing across the screen and then like a replay of the goal and you're like, what the fuck? Something's happening right now.
It's like watching a junior hockey game.
You
know, they just throw up. You're like, hey, I'm watching Prince Albert versus Regina.
And it's just Jumbotron feed.
And look at this little kid in the stands cheering on his billet brother. Good for them.
How many more preseason games do we have?
One, I think.
Seriously?
I think there is one.
Thank fucking God.
I'm not going to lie. I've not watched one live.
No, we've just been watching them in the morning.
I didn't even know it was on Sportsnet yesterday. That would have been great to know because I would have watched.
Yep.
But instead I was watching The Rookie with Nathan Fillion, a local Edmontonian.
What's he up to?
He's a rookie. Yeah,
How many years has he been the rookie?
Well, he's the rookie for 3 years. It's quite the process, actually. He was a rookie for 3 seasons, and then they just brought in a new set of rookies. I'm currently on the part where Aaron Thornton makes his reality TV show because he was accused of murdering his roommate in Paris. He spent a year and a half in jail in France and then got out of jail, and now he's out, and now he's doing a reality TV show called Every Rose Has a Thornton.
So is this in the show or in real life?
In the show.
Okay.
And
I'll be totally straight with you. I've retained zero of this.
Well, you should watch it. It's a very underrated show. I tell all my friends, between January and June, it was the 7th most streamed show in North America. Over 1 billion streams. What do you think was number 1?
Young Sheldon. Did I nail it?
No.
Fuck.
Bluey.
You ever seen Bluey?
Not for me. I'm not the target. Not yet. Maybe a few years.
Which one's Bluey?
The blue
I've
dog.
seen an episode of Bluey.
It's like
Babysat
Blue's
my
Clues.
nieces once.
And they watched Bluey?
One of them started. I was like, hey, I'll babysit them, and they were like 1 and 4 or something. I don't remember their ages. And as soon as my sister left, one of them just started bawling uncontrollably.
Oh, that's good.
And I had plans. I'm like, we're gonna go to the park and all this stuff. She started bawling, and I was like, who wants to watch Bluey? Bluey on the TV. The rest of the day was a breeze.
Good.
Yeah, it was good.
So, yeah,
Welcome into Oilers Nation Every Day. We're coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. From jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger, you'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. We're also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Not Owie says, if you guys are looking for a show to watch, there's a guy from St. Albert on Survivor.
I haven't watched Survivor ever.
Yeah, neither have I. But that is maybe.
It's good. It's good. I didn't know they did that.
What's his name?
There was actually a guy. I also watched Jeopardy to, keep my knowledge going. There's a guy from BC just won Jeopardy the other day.
Really?
So Canada is on the rise, baby. Don't tell Donnie. We're invading his American TV shows. He's not going to like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out who the St. Albert person on Survivor is.
I did see there was a Canadian guy. I didn't know he was from St. Albert.
There's someone from Windsor?
Ontario. Or BC.
Ontario.
Okay.
I don't see anyone here from St. Albert. Jake Latimer's from... Jake. Okay, born in Regina, current resident, St. Albert, Alberta.
Jake Latimer.
Never heard of him.
No?
No. Anyways, the chat wants us to talk some hockey. We could do that.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting thrown off by Eli being in the chat and then directly behind the camera.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
For those of you who are a fan
inception.
of the behind-the-scenes workings here of Oilers Nation Every Day, Eli is now our social guy. So he's the one in the chat. So you can
promotion.
Big promotion
well
for
done,
Eli.
Eli. Not given.
Also, yesterday it came to my attention that some people thought I was drinking red wine.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Pepper.
I think Eli also asked us after the show if we were drinking red wine. That would be maybe one day. Maybe if we ever do a post-game show, say Aaron's on vacation, we could pull out some red.
Yeah, we could. I would love to do a post-game show from up here with you. Be very relaxed.
I will be on vacation in November.
Yeah, he is.
There you go.
There you go. When are you going?
November 3rd to the 10th, Dominican for a wedding.
Oh, not bad.
Well, we've put off talking about that preseason game for about as long as we can. Let's get into a game recap brought to you by our friends at Greta, our go-to party spot in downtown Edmonton. Aaron and Brett are going to be hosting a watch party on October 8th at Greta, and the deals are unbelievable.
They're always unbelievable, brother.
$3.33 Bud and Bud Light. Whoa. $3.33 house shots. There's Aaron.
I'm on the TV again.
He's on the TV. Where we definitely messed with our orientation
Reese
a little bit.
is also here. Reese is also chill.
But anyways, great deals at Greta, October 8th. Join Aaron and Brett at the game, or for a watch party.
It's going to be a good time. We're doing game 1 and game 2 for both of them there. It's going to be a good time. Right. You people know the deal by the playoffs by now. Yep. We're bringing playoff energy for game 1.
All right, game recap. Darnell Nurse keeps scoring. Liam, I give you the tweet of the night from last night when you said, save some for the regular season. Yeah, Darnell, you're good. Wouldn't play him in the last game. You're good.
I think he has 3 and 3. I think he scored in every game he's played. Good for him, I guess. It's good to find the back of the net, get the feel of it.
He's one of those guys who, like, coming into the season, and again, I am reading zilch into Darnell Nurse's preseason. It's great that he's playing well, and if this gives him some confidence, sure, but like veterans in the preseason, I could not care less.
Yeah.
But I'll use this as a chance to talk about him in the sense that he's a swing player, where, like, if Darnell Nurse can bounce back to, I mean, what we saw for some stretches last year, so maybe I'm not even saying bounce back, but find a bit more consistency, then we're talking about a guy who really changes the way you view this blue line. Like, him and Jake Wallman have a chance to be a really, really damn good pairing together.
They really do, and they had good stretches last season. With Darnell, he's easily the most athletic guy on the team, and I think when he finds his game, he's hard to beat because he's just such a unique player. Like, he's so athletic and can just get around the ice. Like, you remember last season he scored that goal, like, kind of coming down low and then just ripped it by the goalie's mask? Like, he's capable of doing that. He's just like... He's like a roller coaster. He's so up and down, isn't he? So one thing I have, and it's like a really small thing, and it probably doesn't even matter, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't played with anybody. Like, I'm pretty sure he's the veteran that goes and plays with, like, the weaker team.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I think that's a credit to probably his personality as well of being a leader on this team. He's a guy the Oilers need because, again, like, we don't really know what Ekholm is. Wallman, he's still injured. Like, he's a day-to-day guy. Hopefully he can come back and get things going here sooner rather than later as well. So, yeah, I'm hopeful for Darnell this season, but I'm not going to put too much into preseason, like you said.
Speaking of hopeful, Matt Savoie. I mean, a beauty little goal in front, nice hands, willing to go to the front of the net. With Ike Howard, like, I maybe have some concerns about different parts of his game, although he was buzzing last night as well. But like this. That's a goal scorer's goal, right? You go to the net, you put your stick in the right spot. Henrique, a skilled enough centerman to find him with the puck. I have concerns about Howard's defensive game. I have concerns about Howard when the physicality maybe gets ramped up. I honestly have no concerns about Matt Savoie. It is simply a matter of how much Chris Knoblauch wants to play. My only concern is from the coaching perspective of, like, will Knoblauch actually give him a chance to succeed?
Yeah, I think so too. And I think Knoblauch will. I think there's a bit more trust in Savoie than Howard just because he's been around the organization for obviously a year now. They've been able to implement a little bit more of their Oilers system into him. But all I thought about when I saw that goal is, like, just look where he is. He's on the doorstep. Like, when Leon gets the puck and if Savoie is there, like, that's what the Oilers missed with a guy like Arvidsson last season. Like, he was just everywhere. Everywhere he didn't need to be is a good way to describe what Arvidsson did for the Oilers last season. And Savoie, again, I've said this so many times, he's so undervalued for what he is. He was, the 9th overall pick or something like that?
Yeah.
Just, like, it's always that thing, isn't it? When you move organizations, the shine kind of wears off of a first-round guy. But don't forget, this guy was 9th, and Ike Howard, and I'm not underestimating him either, was 31st.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big difference between the two.
All right. This is from Zach Lang's postgame article, Oilersnation.com. Great stuff from Zach. Along with the goal, Savoie took 6 shots on net, 8 attempts, generated 6 high-danger scoring chances, and had 1.49 individual expected goals. He obviously cashed on one of them, but the point is he was generating a lot. This isn't like we just looked at a highlight of him scoring and we're like, 20 goals this year? Like, he's legitimately looked better and better as the preseason has gone on. It's a matter of where they'll play him. Maybe we'll talk about that with our first guest who comes up in about 10 minutes. Michael Menzies, a new writer here at The Nation. But as we just kind of quickly rip through the notes here from last night's game, Alec Regula played with Darnell Nurse last night. And that got kind of some people talking. And listen, this conversation was happening. It's not like this just came out of nowhere because of yesterday's game. But there seems to be a growing murmur that Alec Regula could crack this team out of camp.
I think there's a general fear that they would lose him on waivers.
And so someone in the chat was like, hey, if we lost Dermott last year, we would lose Regula. But
that was different.
Totally one in season.
Yeah.
And if you remember when we lost Dermott, Minnesota put a claim in on him. And
because you always just played them and they knocked out 2 of the defensemen.
Yeah, like Middleton broke his hand and someone else got hurt and they were decimated. And Dermott just happened to be on waivers and Minnesota was like, he's already in town, claim him. Like
it was more of a coincidence and a need than Dermott's good to get claimed.
So I like Regula. I think there is an NHL player there. The organization, and we've said this, we're beating a dead horse with this line, but like, you don't claim a guy, then sign him to a 2-year contract without seeing him play a game in your organization, unless you really believe that there's a player here and your pro scouts really believe that you found, to some extent, a diamond in the rough. He hasn't played a lot of hockey in the last 18 months.
And sometimes you can tell.
And sometimes you can tell. I don't know if it's the best thing for the player or the organization to have him in the NHL because, one, confidence is a fickle thing. And, like, again, I think he can handle it, but hasn't played a lot of hockey. What happens when the game gets a quarter step faster, which it will in the regular season? What happens when every player on the other team is an NHL caliber forward? Like, things will be different. And, again, is there any good in having him rotate with Ty Emberson on the third pairing, playing 11 to 14, 15 minutes a night every second game when he hasn't played a lot over the last 18 months? Put him on waivers. If someone really claims him, here's a bold take, you probably get him back at some point during the season.
It's like, I forgot this happened, but Brett's right. Like, Travis Dermott got put back on waivers.
Yeah,
the Oilers reclaimed him.
They brought him back like a month later.
Yeah, I totally forgot that happened.
I also think as much as we are falling in love with the guy and the fan base chat, I get it, you love him. Every organization has Alec Regoulas. I think you can get him through waivers, especially at this busy time of year when everyone's rifling players on the waiver wire day after day. You can get him through waivers, use Emberson and Stetcher as your 6-7 defenseman. I think Emberson should probably play more than Stetcher, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
Again, just leaning into the upside there on Emberson. And guess what? Someone gets hurt. We saw it last year. You're not getting through the whole season with 7 defensemen. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's probably going to be out for a month at some point. You bring up Regula.
Someone's already hurt. Jake Wallman is already hurt.
There you go.
So, you could maybe keep him around just for that side of things. I really don't know which way they're going to go because you can go over Troy Stetcher, of course, who we know he's a solid player for the Oilers. You know what you're going to get. His cap hit is very team-friendly, to say the least. He's solid. He's been a loyal player to you. But Regula, 6'5", 6'4", 25 years old. Like, I am very curious about him. I don't really know what the ceiling is for him. He probably just is a top 6 defenseman, a guy you can rotate in and out.
Someone in the chat was like, why can't he be like Bichelle for Dallas last year? Leon Bichelle was a 18th overall pick.
Yeah, he was
not a direct comparison at all. Like, that is a legitimate top prospect who found his footing in the NHL after, basically, a year in the minors. He played half a season in the American League. So
the other side of it, too, people were saying, well, he's playing with Nurse. It's like, I don't think that was... He wasn't put there because it's like, oh, we need to see what he's like with Darnell. I think it was, we want Kulak and Emberson to get reps together, and they should play together because they're going to play with each other in the regular season.
Totally.
And I think that's just kind of the way it fell. I think when you look, like, from the little bits I saw yesterday, just to be a bit nitpicky on him, like, I didn't love him on the penalty kill. There's been a couple of times now in this preseason so far where he's not been in the right spots on the penalty kill, or his stick's been on the wrong side of the ice. Like yesterday, the goal, he just stood in front of Pickard and screened him.
Yeah.
It's like, you're the biggest guy on the ice. So just clear the guy out in front. Whoever it was, number 17, I forget who it was, but stuff like that. There's a couple of foot speed issues. Like, I'm more than willing to give him a bit of a runway here. I'm not sure exactly how the cap would work because the others are getting into a bit of a jam if they want to keep all these guys up. Mm-hmm. I think he's got something. I just don't know if he's better than Emberson today. And I think to start the season, the others should just focus on keeping Emberson rolling because at the end of the day, he's 25 years old. You just signed him to a 2-year deal.
Yeah. Michael brings up a couple of good points in the chat, Michael Teixeira. And his first one was Boston just reclaims him. Right now, Boston has McAvoy, Lindholm, Zadorov, Mason Lowride. That's their lock in the top 4. They just signed Henry Yokoharu to a 3-year deal. There's number 5. They have Andrew Peak, 27-year-old right shot defenseman. He's number 6. Number 7 is Jordan Harris, who they just signed as a UFA, 25-year-old left shot defenseman. And in their system, they still have... isn't Ian Mitchell still in their system?
No, he just got put on waivers yesterday. I don't know if he got claimed, but
so,
still.
Again... Boston's putting guys through waivers. Like, that's what I just mean when every organization has a regular. Like, Boston has Jordan Harris now. I know he's had more experience. He's maybe a bit more of a known, but he's 25 years old. I just think every team has one of those guys.
Well, just look through the players that got put on waivers yesterday. The only one that got claimed was Phoenix Copley. And we literally spoke about half the guys who were on there were like former World Junior stars.
I mean, let's look at the guys on waivers today. Pittsburgh put a bunch of guys. Sebastian Aho, the defenseman.
Sebastian Aho.
So, like, again, that's a guy, I don't like Sebastian Aho by any means, the defenseman.
Yeah.
But, like, he's going to get through waivers. He's played NHL games in the past. Phil Kemp, former Oiler, he's on waivers. On the forward side of it, it's like Danton Heinen and stuff. Like, I don't know, man.
Danton Heinen's on waivers.
Guys,
Does he have a bad cap hit or something?
Utah's putting, I don't know if he has a bad cap hit, but Utah's putting Scott Perunovich on waivers. Do you think Scott Perunovich is getting claimed? He's got more notoriety as a defenseman than Alec Regula. And again, that's probably changing. And if the Oilers saw something in Regula, maybe there is another organization that sees something in him. But I just think you get guys like that through the waiver wire. I'm not worried about losing him on waivers. And if you do, if that's make or break in your season, Jesus. And that's bad asset management by me to kind of like just throw it out there and be like, whatever, you lose him, you lose him. But like, you're going to have to waive somebody. Do you want to waive Stetcher? I think there's a better chance a team that's actually in the playoff hunt looks at Stetcher and is like, shit, that guy plays Stanley Cup final games 6 months ago. I want him.
And his contract is way better. At the end of the day, Alec Regula is just a regular guy.
Thank you, Liam. Oilers did put 2 D-men on waivers today. By the way, Riley Stillman and Cam Dineen are going down. So
farewell.
There's your waiver update. You mentioned that Phoenix Copley got claimed by Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Because Vasilevsky's injured, right?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
So one more point on this whole conversation. Defensemen are late bloomers. Mm-hmm. That's what we're seeing with Regula. It feels like because he was here for a year, people have sort of lost the appeal of Ty Emberson. And I don't know I don't know why we're getting there. So I'm just going to throw you out a couple of not comparables, but a couple of examples, because both these guys, one of them's an Oiler and one of them's obviously in the news, but we're about to be entering his 25-year-old season. He'll turn 26 in January, February, March, May. Emberson. Okay. Entering his 25-year-old season right now. You know where Jake Wallman was when he was entering his 25-year-old season?
Wasn't he just coming into the American League?
So that was 29, 28, 27, 26. In his 25-year-old season, he still only played half the year. Or sorry, that was the year he got traded to Detroit.
Yeah, there you go.
He had 24 NHL games under his belt.
Takes a long time.
You know who signed a big ticket today? Nico Mikkola.
I thought you were going to say Jake Wallman.
Well, Jackson Lacombe, too. But Nico Mikkola, 29 years old, just signed his 8x5 ticket with the Florida Panthers. Got his 8-year deal in while he still could.
It's an interesting deal.
Very interesting. But I also think by the back half of it, every third-pairing defenseman's probably going to be making $5 million. So like, who cares?
Agree. I just wondered about Brett Kulak.
But he's 29. So let's go 29, 28, 27, 26. His 25-year-old season was his first half season in the NHL. He still played half the year in the minors. Like, defensemen are late bloomers, and especially defensemen whose skill set is Ty Emberson's, where he's not getting power play time. He's not a puck mover, offensive dynamo. Like, look at these numbers. He had 13 points in 76 games last year. You are not employing Ty Emberson to put up points and take O-zone faceoffs. He is taking D-zone draws, killing penalties, and playing a third-pairing role. Like, the idea that he doesn't need to grow a little bit, get a little bit stronger. Like, again, 25 years old. Why we are writing off a guy like this to give a roster spot to Regula, and we have people saying trade him for Lucas Reichel? Good Lord.
I don't understand. I understand he struggled in the playoffs a little bit last season, but also, too, the reason he didn't get back in wasn't necessarily because of how poor he was playing. It was because how good John Klingberg ended up being for the team.
And Stetcher was playing really well.
Stetcher played well. Yeah, you're right. And he's still young, like Ryan S. said in the chat there. He's 25 years old. Like, don't give up on that guy. There's literally an unnecessary thing to do.
Totally.
In addition to Cam Dineen and Riley Stillman going on waivers, the Oilers have also sent down Connor Clattenburg, James Hamlin, Marjala, Josh Szymanski. You had a really good camp.
Szymanski's another good story. Like, I could see him getting an NHL game this year.
And 2 more, Quinn Hudson and Otto Lepinen.
Oh, Atro Lepinen. He fizzled a little bit as camp went on, I think. Competition maybe got a little bit tougher. But that's fine. Okay, yesterday we had a media availability from Stan Bowman. He talked about a couple of things. The McDavid stuff. He doesn't seem all that bothered by it.
No, he does not.
He says he's still talking to McDavid's agent, Judd Moldover, on a daily basis. He wasn't going to put a timeline on it. He wasn't going to make a prediction because why would the GM of a team make a prediction about when Connor McDavid's going to sign? But he didn't. He seemed calm.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So we'll see. Will we get a deal in the next 6 days? I think it's kind of a coin flip. Crossing our fingers.
Come on.
He also talked, because the Oilers made a trade yesterday, Connor Ingram, and sort of the plan, the role for him. So let's take a listen to Stan Bowman on Connor Ingram.
Plan for him is to go to Bakersfield. He's not been in training camp right now, so we need to get him going, get him, up to speed. And so I just spoke to him a few minutes ago, and he's excited for a new opportunity, for a fresh start. And so the plan is for him to go to Bakersfield. The way we look at it is this is a great depth option for us. And I think whether it's injuries or whether it's the play of our team, it's nice to know that we have someone in our organization that's have some recent success in the NHL. We have Matt Tompkins as well. So I think goalie's that one position where when you need it, it's really difficult sometimes to find it because if a guy gets hurt, you're sort of at the whim of who's available, and oftentimes there's nobody available. So we want to get him back going, and when he's at his best, that's how I like to measure players, is when he's playing well and he's on top of his game, we know he can be a really good goaltender. So we got to help him get back to that point. I know he's excited for a fresh start. So he's going to be in Bakersfield, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. There's no set program for when he could be there for the whole season. We don't know. So the plan is not to just get him up to speed and then bring him to Edmonton. We want to, have it as a good depth opportunity for us, and the play of our goalies and the play of our team, as well as his play, will dictate where it goes.
There you go. That is Stan Bowman on Connor Ingram. Oh, our cameras got real wonky there. And that's because we're going out to the Star Mechanical guest line and bringing in a good friend of ours, Michael Menzies. The shade, I didn't even notice the shades.
I did not know you had those on either.
Well, I just put them on. I just thought it's been a long time since I've seen you guys.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go, Menzies.
Let's point this. Let's act like
So like we've been here before.
audio visual before. Good to see you guys. It's been forever.
Great to see you. It's great to
been
have you as a co-worker.
Yes, co-worker here. Tyler, I was trying to think the last time I saw you. I think it was November 11th, 2019. And the only reason I know the date, because I'm not like some, type of primetime drama that Liam would watch, was The Mentalist or something. Tell me how High Potential is, by the way.
Okay,
once you
sounds
get
good.
there, because I see all the commercials. But that was the day Pontiacs were in Sherwood Park to play the Crusaders, and Don Cherry had just been fired. And we had, I brought you into the intermission, and then we got in the broom closet of the Sherwood Park arena.
No windows now. Got slammed by a puck.
That makes sense. Anyway, that's I think the last time I saw it. Anyway, long story short, it's
Thoughts
good to
on
see
Don
you.
Cherry? Oh.
Yeah. Let me tell you here, Regula. This guy, these are the guys you win with.
But anyways, we know Michael from our radio school days, which is absolutely electric. You spent how many years as the play-by-play guy out in Bonnyville?
This is my 7th season because I'm still doing the road games this year. So 7th season in the AJHL and about 7 years in Bonnyville. Yeah.
So you're back in Edmonton. You're still doing the road games for the Pontiacs, but you're writing for us over at Oilersnation.com as well. So you can read his work there. Are you over the preseason as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, when you have this Oilers team where they are after back-to-back Stanley Cup finals, I mean, this all just feels...
I barely care about regular season games.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, the monotony of having to start over again. You mean we have to open up the book again and read through all the different chapters and go, oh, there's going to be a stretch in November. Oh, they've lost 6 of 7. Oh, is the sky falling? Oh, they've won 11 of their last 13. This team can't be stopped. All these roller coaster type of scenarios. Yeah, let's drop the puck here to at least start the regular season and, distract from other storylines about, our Lord and Savior not having re-signed and all that. So,
how much do you care about that? Like, how much do you like? What is your Tyler always does a scale of where you're at with the McDavid thing. I remain at a 0. Tyler's probably at 10,000 out of 10, I would assume.
I'm fine.
The panic meter. I've written it in some of the Sunday Scramble columns. The McDavid panic meter, I think, is at 2.5. And the algorithm is noise plus time equals panic is kind of my, Pythagorean theorem for the thing.
Sure.
And so noise plus time equals panic. And I think training camp not being signed at 2.5. But now with the chirping birds all across North America, I know they're migrating right now, but they're still chirping. And it's getting louder. But honestly, once the season's, I would do a lot of things for one cup.
Okay.
I would rip this team to the studs. If you told me if a genie came out and said one Stanley Cup is guaranteed at the end of the season, but you have to do X, Y, and Z, I would.
But Connor's gone July 1.
Yeah.
I think that's a really tough one for Oilers fans to have. To a question for them to honestly answer.
Yeah.
Oh,
big time.
it's a good question.
Because it's a little bit like the old Family Guy, like mystery box or a boat, right? Where it's like one Stanley Cup with Connor McDavid is one Stanley Cup with Connor McDavid. The mystery box could be anything. It could even be a Stanley Cup with Connor McDavid. Yes,
absolutely. The potential is there. But
what a morbid question.
What I'm worried about, I guess, is that you've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. You see Florida, they went to 3 straight. Tampa went to 3 straight. Yeah. It's hard to do.
But possible.
It's possible. But does that mean, it's just the law of, I guess, averages, or just I don't know what the mathematics would be, everything, where it's like, yeah, this season presents maybe their best chance moving forward with the McDavid uncertainty, but we don't know where this goes afterward. And there's going to be, look at Colorado. Colorado was being anointed after they won. This is the next dynasty type of team, right? They can't get out of the second round or first round, so they
can't get out of their own way,
yeah. And when the Oilers play the Kings for the 5th time this in a row, maybe the Kings finally, you rolled dice and tried to hit Yahtzee how many times, they might eventually get it. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that it's hard. It's a game of randomness with it's not a ball, it's a puck, they're on blades. Things happen, right? And so I don't know, but I think that's a very interesting question. What if you were guaranteed the cup? But, you never are. So
I spelled gone wrong in the poll, everybody. That's on me. Really?
Yeah. This is tough.
Yeah. That sucks.
Well, 62% would guarantee 1 cup. I think I would too. I think I would. Someone put Kawhi Leonard in there.
You play to win the game. I just want one.
Yeah. Would you take that away from the Raptors? You're a Raptors fan, right, Aaron?
Yep.
Would you take away the NBA championship if you knew Kawhi would come and you could win more?
Didn't do shit with DeMar. You roll the dice to get Kawhi for the 1 year. That's like the epitome of it working.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen all the time, but I felt more than fine with Kawhi leaving right after because you're the champ. It doesn't matter after you're the champ.
Yeah.
And in terms of, let's say, what are your cups worth? Ring culture, which isn't so much in the NHL as the NBA, but to win in Canada it would be worth 1.5 cups. I know that doesn't.
No, I'm with you totally.
Yeah, because if they had come back against Florida the first time, down 3-0. I thought this would have been worth 2 cups, 2.5 cups.
Without
you know what I mean? It would have all the you can't win, Edmonton's never going to win stuff. Not only would that be nipped in the bud, but you would have one of the greatest stories in
this
NHL
one as well.
history.
You could add that you climb the mountaintop the first time, you fall down, you climb it again, you fall down. Third time's a charm.
Yeah,
that even makes it even more beautiful.
And they could keep going. Because they have Leon.
Yeah,
that guy's pretty good.
Someone said that in the chat. I do think you have a point though with and ring culture, you're right, not a big thing in hockey, but if Connor were to leave, and I forget what show I said this on, it might have been the Empty Netters, whatever. If Connor leaves and goes to New York, and the Rangers next offseason have McDavid, and then they go make a big splash and they trade for player X, and Shesterkin's there, and Fox is there, and JT Miller's there, and it's a super team, and they put up 120 points next year and roll their way to a cup. What's that worth to Connor McDavid's legacy? He's got one. And no one can take it away from him. And he'll go into the Hall of Fame and everyone will say, look at him as a Ranger. He's a Stanley Cup champion. Yeah. But there will be a little bit of it like people do with Kevin Durant, where it's like,
That's what I was thinking.
like no one ever roasts Steph Curry.
No.
They roast Kevin Durant.
Right.
Because Steph Curry did it with the organization that drafted him, with the guys he was drafted with. And yeah, sure, did they have to go sign Kevin Durant? But what's Steph Curry got to do with that? He still went and balled out, played great, and he's got rings. But people laugh at Kevin Durant. So what does Connor want to be? I think that's an interesting kind of angle to it all.
Well, think of Messier with the New York example. So Messier gets the fifth and sixth rings for Messier after Gretzky leaves, and then getting traded to New York. They smashed the 54-year drought in New York, the guarantee, all of that. But I feel like that type of Messier claim would then come to McDavid,
Totally.
For staying and doing it, even if just for this 1 year. So,
and again, Connor's in year 10, and I don't want to be like Debbie Downer to Oilers fans, but like he probably ain't catching Sid for 3. I don't think Connor's rattling off 3 cups. Maybe he does, but like,
You don't think
how
so?
old was Yzerman? Yzerman drafted, I think, 83 or 84, didn't win till 97 in his 13th season. So Yzerman, it took long, but that's a different era where
still
the
won
Red
3
Wings,
though. You're right.
Where the Red Wings, obviously built out tremendous roster, had been to the final in 95, had been good throughout the early 90s as well. So he would have been 31 or 32 maybe at the time, because Yzerman came.
I think it took him 10 years when I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
10 or 11.
97 was his first, one in 98, one in 02.
Yeah.
How many of those teams was he the best player? Probably first year? First time they won 97?
Well, it depends whether you think Fedorov was better in one of the years or Lidstrom, perhaps. I mean,
So
the 0-2 team is one of the greatest rosters ever constructed.
He didn't lead the team in scoring for the first one, but he did on the second one. Shanahan.
So Shanahan gets acquired, I think, early 97.
Yeah.
The 02 team is
For
insane.
the coffee trade? I think so. I could
I
rattle.
don't know.
I have a
No
lot.
one's
There's a
gonna blame
lot
you
of
for not
useless. There's a
remembering,
lot of useless.
But
NHL
I think there's a
stats
part
up
of it
here.
with Connor where, like, again, and I think he's always been legacy aware. And that's why, like, as much as I get a little worried, because you never truly know what's in his brain, like, at the end of the day, I don't think he's leaving. I think he kind of knows that, like, he has a chance to build a way different legacy than Sid had, in the sense of he can bring a Stanley Cup to Canada.
Yeah.
Sid had the gold medal. Sid had the 3 rings. Sid's going to be, in all likelihood, a one jersey guy like Mario. I think Connor knows that, like, there will always be, even if he were to leave and win 4 in the next 5 years, and the Rangers, whoever he goes to, are some insane juggernaut. They never lose, and everyone will, to an extent, point and laugh at Edmonton and go, look at what you couldn't do. But I also think there'll be a little bit of it with Connor that'll be like, couldn't do it in Edmonton, though, hey?
Right.
Couldn't do it with the team that Wayne did it with the team that drafted him. Sid did it.
Yeah.
Ovi eventually found a way to do it. Yzerman found a way to do it. Everyone else found a way to do it with the team that drafted him. Why couldn't you? There would be that question. I'm not saying it's fair or unfair.
Right.
I actually think it's probably a little unfair, because the Oilers have been way more of a disservice to Connor than Connor, right? Like, the Oilers have failed Connor McDavid. I'm fully willing to admit that, but that's not really how this debate works.
Yeah, it's gonna be viewed as much as an organizational failure, if not more, than just all lopped on McDavid for kind of the after 16-17 season, when they made the playoffs and went second round, Game 7. Those in between years were then into COVID and the Jets series and the Blackhawks and all that, right? So
Liam and I prepped 2 questions for this interview, and I liked it that way, because I was like, I just want to see where we go here.
Yeah.
And this is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
That was exactly what I wanted for the beginning
I
of this.
brought about 4 things I want to mention. The Bolton Wanderers jersey.
Someone
here.
commented it in the chat.
Yes.
Wanderer?
So you were the only one I know who is a Bolton Wanderers supporter.
There's very few of us.
That's where my family hails from in
go.
England. It's just outside of Bolton. So I wore it for you.
Thank you.
Premier League jersey. They're still stuck in the.
Down in League One.
Yeah.
Disappointing result on the weekend. Lost 2-0 to Northampton.
Yeah.
Whose manager is Super Kevin Nolan, of course, was the captain of Bolton for many years in the Premier League.
Yes. Yeah. It's
Bastard got his way the other day.
It's sad days.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't really contribute much. I just see the results and I say, "Go Wanderers!"
We're all
Wander
Wanderers
up.
in here. Wander up. Can't say the other nicknames.
No.
Yeah, they get a little blue. They get a little blue.
So we just had like a big, weird philosophical conversation about Connor McDavid's legacy. Let's zero in on the team right now.
Yeah.
Chris Knobloch seems to have taken a bit of a stance out of the gate that Connor and Leon are going to play together. And we've talked about the logic that can go both ways, but like, the idea that Connor and Leon can now take the tough assignments and everyone else will get to actually play a decent amount of minutes because you're not sitting there playing Connor's line for 20, Leon's line for 20, and then the bottom six is fighting for scraps. Like, I can see it all. Do you think the Oilers are deep enough to do this?
I don't like it. I like when the Oilers have built McDavid 1, Draisaitl 2, and I want to see Trent Frederick play center.
Really?
Trent Frederick says he could play center. The GM said he can play center. They signed him for 8 years and to, no trade, no move. Over the course of the next 8 seasons, I want to find out if Trent Frederick can play center because now that contract makes sense for the term and everything else. We have checked that off the list. Who's going to play that wing spot? Is it going to be Mangiapane, Frederick? I watched that game last night. I didn't notice Mangiapane a whole ton.
He's been a little quiet.
He's been a little quiet. I want to see if we're all talking, we need a good start, then I would have wanted to see the roster play together one preseason game.
Might still get it?
You might still get it. Are we all hustling to Vancouver? Is that the idea? Is that the plan? I don't know, but I want to see them rev up because I don't know, is that going to be Savoie? Which I think is interesting because Savoie, I think, could and should stick. Howard, I'm not so sure. But I'm not sure because I look at the Oilers roster at times and I think, man, we got 10 bottom 6 forwards. And who do you play with who so that, they can linchpin together? You're not so much worried if Draisaitl is centering a line, but Colson's playing on the other wing. And then maybe that's Mangiapane or whoever else. Frederick, they going to live.
Draisaitl can turn guys into top 6 wingers.
Yes, exactly. So he's an uplifter. I think Chiarelli used the term linchpin players.
Okay.
Chris Russell is a linchpin player. He can linchpin the top 4. Anyway, not to go down Peter.
Way to bring that up.
Anyway, but you know what I mean? So he can uplift guys in that. McDavid's the same way, although he can be tricky to play with at times to keep up with the speed and everything else. But I've always liked Nuge on McDavid's wing. And I've always felt that the ideal, it's McDavid, Hyman, and Nuge is the ideal top line for the Oilers, and then Draisaitl
with whoever,
and that's our boy Draisaitl. He just makes it work. But Colson, you go over there, and I'll send you a 35-foot backhand saucer that will get picked off sometimes, and your uncle will scream at the TV and think, "Jesus, Draisaitl,
He's
dog
so
it to the
lazy."
bench again. What a lazy! This guy wants a selkie." No, so you know what I mean. He can uplift guys.
I do think
that's what I'm worried about. Yeah,
Savoie is really interesting to me, and you can't put this much pressure on Matt Savoie. So out of the gates, I certainly wouldn't. But what if Matt Savoie is a guy who can create offense on his own at the NHL level? What if he just needs good players around him? Again, he was a 9th overall pick. The idea that he doesn't have a higher ceiling than maybe we're currently thinking he does, I wouldn't mind seeing him with Nuge. I do think Nuge in the playoffs, I think it's maybe getting to a point where Nuge is better as a 3C than a 1 left wing. But again, they have him as 2C right now. I'm willing to follow this logic for now. I'm also the 4th line, Phil, Podkolzin, and Kapanen. I don't know. Is that a line you can trust? Do you need a second line, I guess, is my counter argument, when your first line is that good? Or can you get away with what I'm looking at here? I look at that and I go, I think that is 3 third lines.
Oh, it is. That there's a lot of bottom 6 forwards.
So can you have the worst? Can you have no second line when your first line's better than any other line in the NHL? Maybe.
But when Hyman comes back, everything's fine. Because if you just let's just walk down this a little bit. Walk with me. Frederick stays on your top line. Then you throw Hyman there instead of Tomasek. And I don't know how Tomasek does. Let's just say he's out of the lineup.
Sure.
Looks pretty good. Then all of a sudden that third line, which does look weak, don't get me wrong. There's 2 question marks on Nugent-Hopkins' wing there. Once Hyman gets there, then you're good. You have a question mark in Frederick on your top line. We'll see what he does. And you have a question mark in Howard there. I think what will be really telling down was Hyman going to miss 12, 15 games, I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
When push comes to shove and the Oilers need a goal, is Frederick the one that goes over the boards, or do they throw someone else up there too? Like, where's the trust level? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
if they're
be
down a goal
interesting.
late, I think it's Nuge going over the boards with them.
I think it's Savoie.
Hero line.
Or Savoie.
I think it's Savoie or Tomasek, just because they're goal scorers, I guess we can call them in a way, right? Like, Tomasek looks like he's going to be on the first unit power play, which I think is kind of nuts, to be honest, for him to be on there. But maybe it's a good way for him to just get extra puck touches. And when I say nuts, I just mean in the sense of not his capability, but like, we have no idea what he's going to be like. I don't even know if he's been that good in preseason, to be honest. Like, I thought they would have just continued to Frederick up there for the idea of, like, when that first was announced, I thought, okay, well, Frederick has just gone to power play. That's your first line. They'll play together all the time.
Yeah, well,
But
and
it's not.
and Frederick, there's somebody on that combo that has to be more of the puck retrieval type of person,
Yeah.
where, you know, McDavid and Draisaitl, they're going to have the puck. You need to be in certain spots at certain times and maybe win a puck retrieval or two in the zone, be where you need to be, you know, and maybe play a bit more of that Pat Maroon type of game, you know what I mean? So,
Worked out
yeah,
well.
yeah, it's. I just we got a lot of questions, but there's 82 games to work it out. How's the team? You know, even with the likes of Regula, I think Emberson starts here, but I could see as we get to like March and April, depending on how they trend with Regula's size, and also I like his hands a little bit. Like he can make plays in tight spaces too, where I could see him being, you know, more of an option as there's more you know, pressure to win.
I spelled everything right in the poll.
Regular does not have a second R.
Damn
That's
it.
just regular.
Yeah, you're right. Hand up.
Sorry, Michael.
Hand up. That's on me.
Yeah.
Can't allow him to go through
But
that.
I'm about to
again.
put the poll in the chat because it's, and you're leading us into it well. It's our Short for Giant question for the day, brought to you by our friends at Guess Who? Short for the Giant. They want to remind you that Dealer Days is coming up at the dealership. It is October 18th from 1 till 3. Bring a canned food item because they're doing a food drive as a part of this as well. So right in the heart of Sherwood Park. Shout out to our friends at Short for the Giant. Well, the chat's just picking who's going to play the most, but we'll do a little rank. Rank Stetcher, Regula, and Emberson. Who plays the most regular season games this year? Liam, do you have a take right off the jump on it?
I think Emerson plays the most.
I think I agree.
I think last season he played the most, if I'm not mistaken, out of him and Stetcher.
Yeah.
There was long stretches where you kind of forgot Stetcher was on the team, to be honest.
Emerson played 76 games.
There you go. 76
That's crazy.
games.
I forget that.
Didn't he play, what did he play, the first 2 or 3
Well, when
games
you're
of
only
the
playing
first
7
round?
minutes a night at times.
Yeah.
No, and I don't want to besmirch him. Like I'm not the biggest Emberson fan, but I think, you know, in your lead-in topic where people maybe have soured on Emberson a little bit was just because of his ice time in the playoffs and down the stretch where he was sheltered. I think Emberson is going to play the most. I think the depth chart, they're not going to have Regula jump over Emberson, but I think he'll be competitive in terms of games played with Stetcher as of today. But what does the roster look like in April? Mind you, they could very well trade for another defenseman too.
And they will.
If the chips are in, if McDavid's not signed and it's in April and it's like, let's go gung ho, push him in, someone's available, there could be another trade here too.
There could be. And injuries will always mess things up. I almost tend to think one of these guys is going to impress. One of Regular or Emberson is going to impress. The chat's 70% in favor of Emberson, and I do think that's the fair play, but maybe the more interesting question would be, like, who do you believe is in that spot come night one of the Stanley Cup playoffs? Because will they trust Emberson? He was healthy scratched 15 times, I think, in the playoffs, and only 6 times in the regular season.
Yeah.
So, again, part of that was Stetcher playing good hockey. Part of that was the injuries where Stetcher had to play higher up the lineup, and then they were mishmashing things. Like, it was a bit of a disaster late, but, yeah, I wonder if they would. I don't know if D-Man's going to be very high on their list.
It's just that Regula has what those two guys don't have, and that's size.
Yeah.
Size, and if he shows in the AHL that he can move the puck at an efficient level, that's going to be something that, you know, he could be. You know, Klingberg was in down the stretch last year, and part of what makes him attractive is his size, and he can't have a third pair. And I like Stetcher a lot because he plays with a lot of heart. But you know, it won't be Lepinen. I bought a little property on Lepinen Island. You know, I tried to get in early, But the stock on the 4-2 Seattle goal started to drop where Leppinen just cruised into the offensive zone, and then there was a rush back the other way.
We talked about that too.
Defensive awareness was brutal.
It's a different game over here, right?
It's a different game, and he hasn't even gotten to NHL competition yet, which is why everyone was like, he could, there are people, this could mean you trade Kulak early. It's like, whoa.
Good God. There
Don't
people
trade.
saying that?
No, buddy.
Signed Brett Kulak to 8 years.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like Kulak, local boy.
He's going to play 82 games.
Give me Kulak.
I knew I loved Menzies, boys. I knew I loved him.
Give me Kulak. You know, I know what Kulak is, and that's like for a management. Oh, it's such a relief when they know who a player is.
You give me 6 Kulaks, I give you the Stanley Cup.
Yes. Cool. Get Dolly the sheep and whatever cloning device was used. But for Leppinen, he's got to play in North America, and he's got to learn that game, right? Like that's gonna be what's the biggest thing for him. But I worry the same a little bit about Howard. Like, where does Howard actually, he may make the opening day roster, but for order to stick, with how flexible the Oilers lines, how Chris Knobloch is flexible with all the lines, is Howard capable of playing in the bottom 6? Because there's players that have to be slotted in there that actually, coordinate with their skill sets. You know what I mean? Is Howard good enough playing without the puck? That's what I think has given Savoie a big edge. He's much better without the puck now, and his 200-foot game is killed penalties in the HL. That's what gives him an edge. Howard is coming off of a massive junior year where he, doubled his points totals in NCAA.
Hobie Baker.
And now he's to just waltz into the Oilers full time. I don't know. I don't know if that's the most prudent thing to do. But if he starts scoring,
about him.
Just
to start, I'm very curious just because, like you said, he's never played pro before.
Yeah.
It's such a huge jump for these guys, and we see so many players come from college and fails maybe a harsh term, but they really struggle immediately. And I will give him the benefit of the doubt of saying that, as the games have gone on here, I think he has got a little bit better in his offensive game. His defensive game will need work, but from interviews that I think it was the other day, it was Spectre that talked about it, but Howard said in his interview, he's willing to play up and down the lineup and put in the work that he needs to do it, which I think is a really good mentality, because sometimes there was this whole stigma around him that he was this arrogant guy because of the way he dressed at the draft, and we call him the Iceman and all this stuff, and it's just he's also 21. Let the kid kind of breathe a little bit. So I'm willing to give him a bit of a runway to figure things out. I hope they just don't bury him like they did for Jeff Skinner last year. I think that would just be wrong. But I think they trading Sam O'Reilly. You've invested a little bit into him, and you need to give him some time. But just quickly before we move on from this conversation, Leppinen plus 5,000 for the Norris on Bet365, just ahead of.
Is he actually listed?
Oh yeah, just ahead of Thomas Harley, Shea Theodore, Noah Dobson, Brock
no, he's
Faber.
Not.
Plus 5,000. Give me plus 100,000.
Can I be the book on that? If anyone wants to bet, I'll give you 10,000 to 1 on Leppinen to win the Norris this year. You just transfer me the money, and we'll go from there.
I know what you're all thinking. Why is Darnell Nurse lower on the list, plus 50,000?
That's insanely disrespectful to Darnell.
It's insanely disrespectful to the NHL. Everyone.
Can I give you an example of a player who if this could be Ike Howard this year for the Oilers, and they're not exactly comparable stylistically, but last year, Jackson Blake came to the NHL right out of NCAA. He did not need a single game in the American League. He scored 17 goals, added 17 assists. He was a 4th-round pick of the Hurricanes, but his numbers in his last year of junior, when he would have been 21 years old that year, 22 goals and 60 points. Ike Howard last year, 26 goals, 52 points as a 20. That would be his 20-year-old season, because this will be his 21-year-old. So a year younger than Blake was. I know he had the same level of college experience, but a year younger. Yeah. Blake found a way to step. It's not unfathomable to think that Ike Howard can just be a third liner for you, a middle sixer who contributes. And hey, they were confident enough coming out of 1 year with Jackson Blake, give him a big long-term deal. So.
Yeah, Blake, where did he play?
He was college. North Dakota.
Nodak.
Yeah, well, Nodak, hey, that's
It's a pro program.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you see the dressing rooms, and that gets you set up.
My
ready,
goodness.
ready to
we go.
play in the National League. So yeah, and Blake's a good story, and people kind of became accustomed to him as time went along. But it's just does Howard have those other tools that make him stick in the NHL for longer? And because he said all the right things, but you say how he dressed at the draft, he did also force his way out of the Lightning organization, which everybody wants to go to Florida. Everybody wants
That
to
was
go.
an amazing story.
But Lightning to Florida, Edmonton, Alberta,
But I know that was, like, you can point to that and be like, you forced your way out of the organization that drafted you, a great organization in Tampa Bay. If anything, I would raise an eyebrow if he did do like I'm not going to Columbus. I'm not going to Edmonton. I'm only playing in New York or Florida.
Sure.
To me, that this was more
the opposite.
He felt disrespected. He thought he was an NHL player. The Lightning wouldn't sign him, and he said, "You know what? If you guys don't believe in me, get me out of here." I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't maybe look at it the same way as like Adam Fox. Adam Fox was just like, I'm playing for the Rangers because I'm from New York and that's where I want to be. And it was like, oh shit, you could do that when you're an unrestricted free agent in 8 years, but like he forced his way out of 2 organizations.
Yeah.
He told Carolina he would sign to get out of Calgary, got into Carolina, and then was like, psych, I'm not signing. Like, that was crazy.
Oh, yeah, because he was part of Calgary ended up getting Elias Lindholm.
Yeah, it was the Lindholm-Hannafin deal.
Yeah.
Fox went through the
And Dougie Hamilton, who is now on the block, apparently.
I mean, that makes sense. You got Luke Hughes making 9 sheets. Jackson Lacombe gets 9 sheets.
Ooh. What was the line you said? Like, Verbeek holds out for everyone.
Oh,
$9 million.
Verbeek has played hardball with every Anaheim Duck. You know, they had McTavish skating, with like the University of Guelph. And, sign him the other day. You might want him in training camp.
Yeah, pretty good player.
And then, nope, we're immediately giving Lacombe,
Most
eight
total
times
dollars in Ducks history.
Yeah. Like, I believe the tweet was, players have earned more per year, but he's going to earn the most over his time, which is great. The Ducks have had tons of great players.
Well, what's the crazier stat? That or the fact that Luke Hughes is now the highest paid Hughes brother?
The Hughes brother
Like,
one. Because
what?
Jack didn't sign that
Quinn
long
has a
ago.
Norris.
Yeah, Quinn has a Norris.
Yeah, that's insane.
Times are changing.
Do you feel better about Bush at 10-5? I mean, it's different because these guys are buying RFA years, but
Still, Bouchard's great player.
yeah.
What did you make? Who was it we talking about? Oh, Kaprizov. I said Kaprizov as a potential. I said he's a top 5 player. I should have maybe rephrased. Potential to be a top 5 player. What is your thoughts on him, considering he's rarely available, but when he is available, he's an MVP candidate?
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the NHL. There's no doubt. I think it's just funny how the Wild just got out of, Parisi and Suter hell, and then now here you go. Here's the richest contract in NHL history, and I think it just shows. Look, the Minnesota Wild have won, I think, 2 playoff rounds since the lockout, and not the mini lockout. I mean the 04-05 lockout.
Yeah, the big boy.
And the Wild have been, relevant and kind of interesting.
Always a good team.
Like in the playoffs a lot. I think they've lost 7 playoff rounds in a row. Like if the Minnesota Wild were not the Minnesota Wild and they were in a huge market, they would get so much more, loser doom hell that would come their way about that would make the Leafs, at least the Leafs won a couple of rounds, or whatever,
recently.
right? So I think that's a team that was the Wild were desperate and paid the tippy top dollar for the player. Good for Kaprizov. I think it'll be tough to build around. They're going to need these young pieces.
Counterpoint, they were building winners when they had 15 million dead cap space.
Well, I think that's Garrett's wager, right?
Yeah.
That's Garrett's. I've navigated this before, and Garrett has the profile of like a top 8, top 10 general manager, right? So, but they need to win a playoff round.
Totally.
They need to win a playoff round or 2, and they were in first in the Central or around there in early mid-November before everybody got hurt, right?
Yeah.
So
What are I think we're getting our next guest here right away.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what's your prediction for the Pacific Division this season? Give
We
me your
had-
top 3.
1, 2, 3.
And
I
if
always
you say the Anaheim Ducks third, like Johnny Lazarus, we're gonna have a huge problem.
You're gone.
the Ducks were like 11% in the power play last year.
Chris Kreider.
Jackson Lacombe, 9 mil.
Yeah. I always struggle about where to slot the Oilers because I've always been kind of more on the pessimistic Oiler fan side.
I can tell you just called all their forwards third line
I know.
players.
Look, believe me, I am an Oilers fan, but it's kind of, I come from the decade of darkness. So Vegas 1,
It's molded.
Oilers 2. Who the hell?
You going LA 3, or do you think Calgary or Anaheim take it? I don't like the LA Kings blue line so much, and out of
You really, really hate it.
I'm picking them to miss the playoffs just because I hate what Ken Holland did to that blue line this summer.
Yeah.
I want them to make the playoffs, and I want the Oilers to face them again.
Yeah, just slot them 2-3
Yeah.
once again. The thing with Calgary, can they get 30 more goals this season?
No.
That's their biggest thing. If they can get 30, 35 more goals, they could be in the mix, but I don't know where that comes from. So Vegas because, either I'm right in my prediction or I'm happy because the Oilers got first. I also don't think the Oilers have won the division in like 35 years. So that would be nice.
That'd be cool.
Look, have home ice advantage throughout.
once, yeah.
That would be great. I just think there'll be some growing pains with this edition of the roster.
Yeah.
That will slot them more in a 2-3 slot. Is kind of where I see it trending. So Anaheim.
I think they'll be good. I do like the Ducks team. Don't
I think
get
they'll
me
be
wrong.
much better.
Isn't there some pressure in Seattle?
Pressure to be
No.
terrible by everybody else, I think.
Well,
Like,
Ron Francis, how he built the team.
But they've already done the
From
thing where Francis
go.
moved upstairs, Botterill's in. So, is there pressure? I don't know.
Yeah, they're a funny team. And the eternal question of who are the Vancouver Canucks? Who are the Canucks? I never know what to make them, but you could tell me they're a wild card team. And I wouldn't be totally shocked.
Every one of those teams, I just think is so flawed outside of Edmonton and
one of
Vegas.
those,
Here you go.
one of those 4 or
One of
5
them's
are
getting
probably gonna just
Here's-
pop out.
Yeah.
And I really don't know who it's gonna be.
Here's my take on the Canucks really quickly. Teddy Bluger will play top 6 minutes for them this season, and that is why they will not make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's concerning. All
That's
right. Menzies, this was a treat. We look
Yes.
forward to doing this more throughout the year now that
Yeah.
you're writing for the site and you're back in town. So for whoever asked in the chat, yes, you'll be a regular. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks. This was a lot of fun, and
Menzies, you're going to join me on pre and post as
Yeah,
well.
he's going to be a pre and post game
we
guy this
we
year.
got to talk about that.
I've signed you up for it.
I sing for my supper these days. I left behind a comfortable salary, a work truck, all this just for the gleam, for the chance to join my old NR92 buddies. Thanks. Thanks.
Good name radio shout out. All right, yeah, we're going to step aside. Quick break. When we come back, we're going back out to the Star Mechanical guest line and talking Sharks. Stay with us for a minute. The Canada dad dropped in and said, I joined partway through and thought maybe it was a shaved Zach Lang. Menzies is also brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Full boat winterization with pickup and delivery with Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Engine winterizing services, shrink wrapping, boat detailing. They're the best in Alberta. Check them out in Sherwood Park. Let's get right back out, though, to the Star Mechanical guest line. Our next guest is the host of Locked On Sharks. Friend of the show. We have him on a couple times a year, but once to preview the Sharks at the beginning. Very excited to welcome JD Young back to the show. JD, how was your summer?
Can't complain. I mean, right, when you get Michael Misa, you feel like you're starting to kind of turn the corner. Can't complain about my summer, so.
You signed John Klingberg and Jeff Skinner. These are guys who powered the Oilers to the Stanley Cup final, JD. How are you not fired up?
Yeah, I mean, you know, whenever you can get Oilers cast-offs, we did it with Cody Ceci. We're running it back this year, except we're double dipping now with Klingberg and with Jeff Skinner. We know clearly Jeff Skinner got a taste of playoffs. It was like, I'm done with this, guys. Get me to San Jose where I don't have to worry about playoffs.
Yeah, it took one round of the playoffs, and he's like, wait, we're not getting paid for this? Oh, I'm done. That's boring. But in all seriousness, Michael Misa is the big ad. That's what Scott fans buzzing. It's interesting when you kind of talk Calder race, and I did today on Daily Faceoff Live with Stephen Ellis, and it's like the 2025 draft class is not getting a lot of love in the Calder race. So let's start with Misa. Like, how's he looked? What are the expectations on him if it's not Calder Trophy, right?
I think Misa is going to be somewhere in between what we saw with Celebrini and Will Smith last year, right? Where Celebrini hit the ground running, was an instant impact player. Will Smith took a little bit of time to get things going, but then by the second half of the season, Will Smith was, 30 points in the last 34 games from Will Smith. Only Celebrini had one more point during that same amount of time. I think Misa's going to be somewhere in the middle. He's projected to be the second line center already. He's going to be playing, it looks like, with Tyler Toffoli and William Eklund, so two strong veterans. I know it's weird to say William Eklund, a veteran, but two strong veterans with him. And I think that's going to be his role. Like, I could see them being a little kind of training wheels with Misa for the first kind of month or so. But I think once we get to American Thanksgiving, as you guys like to say, that's when we'll kind of see Misa really hit his stride. So he's been really strong in the preseason. Hasn't seen the production yet, but he's doing all the little things right. And it's always right. If you're not scoring, what else can you do for me? Misa's showing a lot of that so far in the preseason. And he's been one of the kind of most consistent Sharks players during preseason.
I think one thing some GMs struggle with during a rebuild is putting together a competitive team. A team that's, you don't want to win every night. You're trying to get top 5 picks, but like, you want to be competitive and build somewhat of a winning environment. And I actually like the Sharks team for what they are. They're not a bad roster when it's all said and done. They got a lot of veterans on the blue line. Another former Oiler we forgot to mention was Vinny Desharnais, plays for the Sharks. I just found out. Do you think they have enough to get off the basement floor of the Pacific Division, or do you think they're still the worst team in the division?
That's a good question. I do think, as you guys were talking about before with the Kraken, that's the Kraken and the Flames are the two teams I'm kind of circling where I think the Sharks could potentially jump them. I still think they're going to be very much in the running for the bottom of the division here, unfortunately. But you're going to see improvement from this team, right? And this team has, over the past 2 years, failed to crack 100 points combined in the past 2 years. I do think this team is probably somewhere in the low 70s. And we'll see if a team like the Kraken or if a team like the Flames, if they bottom out, maybe this team can jump up to 6th or 7th in the division. But I still think they're going to be one of the worst. But a lot of this season does come down to Yaroslav Askarov, right? The Sharks paid a pretty penny to get from Nashville. He's going to be the guy with San Jose this year, and I think he's going to be very good. But with a guy like Askarov going to his first full season in the NHL, I think you're going to have some of those ups and down moments with him. And the hope is you just get more ups than you do downs with Askarov and with this kind of patched together defensive group.
I think there were people who were, hesitant to put big offensive expectations on Macklin Celebrini in his first full season. And part of that is environment. And part of it was the style of player. Like, you hear Bedard come up and everyone's like, Matthews 2.0 and McDavid is Crosby 2.0. And Celebrini, people were more like Patrice Bergeron, right? Like 70 points, but wicked smart defensively. And I say Patrice Bergeron like it's a bad thing. It's not. Yeah. This is all leading to me going, he outperformed expectations offensively as a rookie. Is there another step for him here? Like, do you think this is a guy who we're talking about at the end of this season in the 85-point range?
I do. I think Celebrini is going to be a point per game player this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's pushing for 90, especially with him and Will Smith expected to play together this entire season. Again, like we go back to what we saw the second half of the year last year. You put those two guys together, and again, as you know, Will Smith, who's now 20 and Macklin Celebrini is 19. These guys were almost a point per game player the second half of the season. You mentioned the roster, right? I think the Sharks are actually going to have a legitimate third line this year for the first time since Joe Thornton was roaming the third line. Like, I do think with Alex Wenberg and Jeff Skinner and Colin Graf, I think there's going to be a legitimate third line. I think the second line is going to be solid. Like, the Sharks are going to have an opportunity to roll three lines that could actually score for you. But I do think with Celebrini, like, it's going to put him in a better position where, again, he doesn't have to do everything. And if the power play can improve this year, I think Celebrini is going to have a massive season. And there's already a lot of talk would you rather have Celebrini or Bedard? I think this might kind of close the door on it if Celebrini comes out and puts up, 85, 90 points and is an awesome two-way player. And as the Sharks continue this rebuild here.
I do think only one of them's got a shot at Canada's Olympic team, and it's not the guy in Chicago.
I think I'm all in on Celebrini.
Me too.
I think the hype was lower on him because he didn't play in Canada. Like, he played college hockey. Like, we don't get college hockey up here. So I think that was a big reason why.
That's fair.
I'm all in on him. I had futures on him last season. I'm doing it again.
So
that's big. But the one thing I wanted to ask you about, sorry, did you have a follow-up?
No, you go.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about Mike Greer. Like, when he took over this team, there's so many bad contracts. And I know he's had to buy out a lot of guys and trade some guys, but, like, they're all gone. Like, and he did it in pretty quick time. And, too, like, what's the vibe around him? Do people think he's done a good job down there? Are they happy with the direction of the team at the moment?
Yeah, I think most people are extremely happy with Greer, right? And again, you look at where the Sharks were. They had one of the worst prospect pools. They were also bad. And then in a short amount of time where he's added so many big pieces, right? And we've talked about Misa, and we've talked to, we haven't even talked about Sam Dickinson, who's probably pushing to make this team as well. Was the 11th overall pick in the Celebrini draft. You guys have like Quentin Musty and Kasper Haltonen. You have a guy like Luca Cagnoni, who dominated the AHL last year as an undersized defenseman. Like, the Sharks have, there's a reason why the Sharks have the best prospect pool in the NHL right now. It's because of Mike Greer's work and also setting the Sharks up for future success, right? Where, on the books right now, again, like, this is going to change very quickly, but like, William Eklund's the only player who signed in the 28-29 season. Like, this they have so much flexibility with their roster and with their cap space where they can commit to these big time contracts. And you expect a guy like Celebrini to command one of these big time contracts here soon, but you're going to be able to do that and still be able to build a roster around it because he's done such a great job of not only clearing out old contracts, but also acquiring pieces, right? The Sharks still have their own first round, which is probably going to be a top 5 pick, maybe a top 10 pick. And you have Edmonton's pick this year as well. They have 2 picks in the second round. And if guys like Jeff Skinner go, have a banana season and he's able to trade him, like, they have assets that they can still trade and add to the war chest right now here. But I think with Greer, though, like, for the most part, he's done a really good job. I know there's some trades people still kind of nitpick, like the Fabian Zetterlund trade last year, where you traded a youngish dynamic scorer, and it kind of feels like the return hasn't been super great with a guy like a Zach Ostapchuk. There's been some of the nitpicking there, but for the most part, people, I think they were just tired of being this kind of bad team with no future, while you're a bad team with an exciting future now.
The last one for me is kind of, less of a question and more of just, I want to present you with a take. But you look at the forward group and, like, you can see the path to, like, man, that's going to be one of the better forward groups in the NHL soon. And Askarov should, by all accounts, be an absolute star. And I know on the blue line, like, Muka Mandulin, we'll see what he's like this year. Sam Dickinson's coming. I think he's going to be a stud. But the final challenge here for Mike Greer is, like, Leddy's not a long-term piece there. Klingberg is not a long-term piece there. Maybe Ferraro is, but, like, the final hurdle is doing, I guess, maybe what Montreal did, where you go find that Dobson or, like, someone in their prime that you gulp, say, I'm giving up a couple firsts, but we need this guy. Like, that blue line's the final piece, right?
Yeah, that's the final piece. And I know like Gav McKenna is the exciting prospect, but there's, four potential right-handed defensemen in the top 10 this year that could kind of be that crown jewel. And I know a lot of people wanted, the Sharks to get Schaefer, myself included. Like if you had gotten Matthew Schaefer last year, you feel like, okay, well, this is it. Again, Michael Misa, pretty great consolation prize as it's turning out right now. But yeah, I think that's going to be the next big thing is for Greer is not being able to kind of patchwork this defensive group that he's had to do the past couple of years, but getting guys who can come in and contribute now while still allowing some flexibility for your, Canyonis, for your Dickinsons, for your Mukamadulans to become everyday NHL players and help solidify this for long term. But yeah, I do think Greer is going to be aggressive in trying to find a player like that. And maybe it's the Askarov type of thing where you look for a young defenseman. I'm looking at you, New Jersey. Where you have player like the too many defensemen who don't kind of fit and they don't feel like they're going to be long-term pieces there. And that's where you maybe package up some of these picks and prospects to go get one of these young defensemen who fit in the timeline with San Jose. So yes, I think once Greer does that, then you can kind of feel like ready to go with this and where the Sharks team's headed.
As you said that, I will turn on my I'm literally on Nemich's Puckpedia page because I was about to bring him up and be like, that's the guy. But, let's crystal ball it. A year from now, the Vancouver Canucks trade Quinn Hughes to the New Jersey Devils. It's a blockbuster trade. The Devils got to do it. And then the Sharks just slide in and go, oh, you're willing to trade Dougie Hamilton for free? We'll give you a little something. Give us Nemec, too. Hamilton, Nemec, Keaton Verhoff, Sam Dickinson. Sharks are in the playoffs 2 years from now. There you go. You in?
Sign me up for that. I do love Dougie Hamilton. I think Dougie Hamilton's great. But yeah, if you get Nemec Hamilton to go there, let's go.
Yeah, we'll be back to Sharks Oilers in the playoffs in no time. You just need that very specific set of things to happen. But you want to wrap up, Liam?
Yes. Last question from me, JD. Give us your Pacific Division prediction. We've been asking everyone. We need yours.
I'll write it down.
All right, I got Vegas number one, unfortunately, because it's Vegas, right? So I think Edmonton number two, and I'm going to go kind of hot take here. I think Canucks number three. The Canucks are the team where I'm very much like, you could tell me that they're the second best team in the Pacific, and you could tell me they're seventh best team in the Pacific, and I'm like, you know what? I believe it. So I think Pettersson has a bounce back season. I think Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman in the NHL. I think I think Demko is going to return to form, and maybe just not having to deal with the Miller Pettersson drama every day. Maybe that helps the locker room. I do like how they were like, hey, we got to clean up the locker room. Let's trade Miller. You know what we should do? Let's trade for Evander Kane because nothing cleans up a locker room like trading for Evander Kane. I think I'm going to save space here as a guy who's had Evander Kane, but group of Kane survivors here. But yeah, I think I don't know why this Canucks team. For every year I fall in love with them because I'm an idiot, but I think this year they bounce back. I think Hughes is a man on a mission, and then I think the Kings, as much as I know you guys talk about the blue line, I still think they sneak in as the wild card spot. And I think Anaheim's a year away, right? We always do this where we pick a team to kind of make that jump, but they're always a year too early. Where are we at? That's 5, Flames 6, Sharks 7, Kraken 8.
Yeah,
got that. So I hate that Kraken team. It's so boring. It's so boring.
I don't hate the Seattle dead last pick at all. I just think they're so vanilla.
They just have every forward I would honestly take on my team. I just wouldn't put them in a team together.
That's a very good way to describe the Seattle Kraken. Yeah.
These are all great third line forwards. Just a whole team made of them. Yes,
it's not good.
JD Young once again predicting Oilers Kings round 1. All right, appreciate your it'd
be Oilers Canucks round 1.
Yeah, actually, I love that.
Oilers Canucks round 1.
Yeah.
Oilers Canucks.
Host of Locked On Sharks. You can also find his words at The Reef. JD, always a pleasure having you on. We'll catch up with you at some point in the season when the Oilers and Sharks play.
All right, thanks, boys.
Thanks.
There you go. JD Young. Find him on Twitter at MyFryhole. Top 5 Twitter handle that we have on the show?
It's good. I
probably not 4, probably not 5, probably not 3, probably not 2. He's great.
I'll link it.
He is also brought to you by our friends at Oodle Noodle. You can take advantage of the value menu deal, which allows you to add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons to your signature premium box for just $2 in store and oodlenoodle.ca takeout only. Also, one more time, got to give some love to our friends over at Star Mechanical. StarMechanical.ca, residential, commercial, 24/7 emergency service. They do it all and they do it well at Star Mechanical. What are you laughing about?
Just the Seattle Kraken, to be honest.
How can you not?
It's
funny when
It's kind of
Vegas did what
annoying.
Vegas did, and then Seattle just came in to be like, you know what? This is what expansion teams are supposed to be.
Let's bring this back down to earth.
Yeah, everyone calm down. Because now when they expand again, expectations will be low.
Much slower.
Yeah.
And maybe we should have just had bad expectations anyway. They made the playoffs in their second year, though. Knocked out Colorado, right? Was that second?
That was
or
their
third?
first year, I think.
No, it wasn't first year because they got.
It was second year?
Was it second year? Yeah, they got Shane Wright, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Who is not panned out.
Yeah. Let's keep cruising along with the show. Let's get to what's trending. It's brought to you by the Daily Faceoff Survivor Pool. This season, head to dailyfaceoff.com. The link's right at the top. DFO Survivor. Every Saturday, you got to pick one team to win. It's like an NFL Survivor Pool. You pick one team to win. You can only pick a team twice throughout the year, but you also get 2 lives. Every Saturday, you just got to pick one team, and if you can outlast the field, which I think right now is sitting, we can see it right there, 600 and something.
628.
If you can outlast the field, you're going to win a $2,500 grand prize. It comes in the form of a Visa prepaid gift card.
Oh.
I think for legal reasons.
Did you get your picking?
I have not gotten my picking yet. I'm waiting. I'm going to see how the first couple games go.
I already changed mine.
That's why I'm not picking.
I had Florida. Felt like a bad one.
Yeah, you probably want to change off that.
So I went with Carolina to beat the Philadelphia Flyers at home.
All right.
I think that's solid.
YouTube chat. Oh, no, sorry. We're doing what's trending. WestJet seats and economy will now no longer recline.
Are they still going to cost me an arm and a leg, too?
Yes.
When did I... Do you recline a lot?
No.
I never really recline. So
I don't want to be
Never.
that guy, and
Yeah.
I can sleep sitting up. I don't care.
But I did debate that if you get blessed and there's no one behind you, it's nice to have the option to recline.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
doesn't happen very often.
See, is that being blessed or is being blessed when no one sits in a row next to you?
I'd rather have no one next to me than
Yeah,
no
that's
one
true.
behind me.
Yeah, because when I went to Vegas last year, my fiance and I, we both had a row to ourselves each.
So you guys didn't want to cuddle?
No, we never sit next
Did
to
you
each other
lay
on
down?
planes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Spread right out. We don't sit next to each other. We both sit aisle seat. Don't mark it till you try it. It's unbelievable.
And we stare directly forward, raw dog the whole
Yeah, we
plane.
don't
See, I am always I have a good bladder, so I don't need to worry about getting up on the plane.
Oh, good.
And I like being able to lean up against the window. That's the best kind of sleep.
I have a bad right knee.
So
I
you gotta.
need to get it out there, get some clicks out. You know?
So you need to be on that
I
side of
have to
that.
sit on the left side of the plane.
All right.
Do you guys ever bring neck pillows with you?
Everywhere I go.
I
do.
I've only ever found one good one. It's
Wear
my
one while I drive.
I never shoulder check.
Just signal for a couple seconds. They'll get the hint. Have you seen the Nation truck? I'll be fine.
Just put your hand up every time you. Sorry. Someone's on me. When does that go into effect?
I don't know.
Are
I just saw it.
Ryanair still making you stand up on planes? You ever see that one?
I did see a funny post the other day
on
that
a
was like,
bus.
planes are doing it wrong. You want to stack people. Like if
Oh, I did
if
see
everyone could lay down and we just did 3-row bunk beds, I think people
I
would
don't
be
think
happier.
I would ever get on a plane again. Like claustrophobia would go through the roof.
Yeah, that's
That'd be
fair.
nuts.
That's fair. Aisle seats, best seats, legroom goes crazy. Yeah, but if you want to sleep, again, window's the best. If it's a flight where I'm
Yeah.
not sleeping, I agree. Aisle seat's good. But if I want to sleep, window.
Just not middle seat. Upgrading your seat, and by upgrading I just mean paying for an end or middle, not non-middle. You'll never regret it.
See, I'm a big way there guy. I'd like the aisle because I'm full of energy. I'm hyped. Might even talk to some people. Way home, stick me in that corner in the window.
Hey.
Don't look at me. Don't talk to me.
If you ever see me on a plane, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Just
We're going on a
bringing
plane
that up.
at the end of the month.
Yeah, we
know.
are.
I'm just mentioning that.
Do we have the clip of the MLB announcer at ESPN?
Yes, we do.
This is from the MLB playoffs yesterday during the Cubs-Padres broadcast where like Connor Bedard, Nick Foligno, Chris Chelios, a bunch of NHL people, players, current
They
and
were
former,
there?
were at the game. And then
Nice.
ESPN, because they have NHL rights, if you didn't know, had to read a promo. This is great.
And the Blackhawks return to the ice next Tuesday, NHL opening night against the defending champion Florida Panthers at 5 Eastern, 4 Central on ESPN. Triple header that night. Penguins, Rangers, Avalanche, Kings. Ben, I know you got an opinion on this. Panthers three-peat this year. What do you think?
If you say so. I mean, good luck to them. Are you asking me if I'm going to be watching?
No, you'll be watching, of course, because you work for ESPN. You'll be watching Friday night.
There is zero chance I'll be watching. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Where will you be?
I will be somewhere, but there's zero chance I'll be watching.
All right, thanks, Ben. We'll be watching. Thanks for the rating.
I mean, the schedule sucks. He's not wrong.
That is not, I don't think he knows if the schedule sucks. Where I will respect this level of hater is that his play-by-play guy didn't even tee him up for it. He went out of his way to be like, are you asking me if I'm watching? Yeah. I'm not.
I will not be watching the Chicago Blackhawks on opening night for the 3rd year in a row. Enough is enough. Come on.
Also, that's the other thing too. Chicago's on the ad read. They're in Chicago. Like,
That's so good.
that would be like if I was like, all right, the sheet with Jeff Merrick's coming up. Brian Burke's on today. And you were just like,
not for me.
Yeah, you.
Not for me. Yeah, well, won't be watching that.
That is a crazy bit of work. Yeah, Ryan says in the chat, zero chance. It's not even like he went out of his way to be disrespectful to the sport of hockey.
And the play-by-play guy tried to throw him a life preserver, tried to help him out a little
You
bit.
work for, he literally said like, because you work for ESPN. He was like, fuck him. Oh, that's great. Also, if you look up what that guy looks like, he has like the old military style haircut where it's like a buzz cut that still goes straight up somehow.
I can already see it. Looks like that guy from Small Soldiers. You ever watch that movie?
No. All right, so now it's our turn to shit on our own company. Why did you put Johnny Lazarus hates the Oilers in our show prep?
Because he
he
hated
hates
on
the
you.
Oilers.
His logic was crazy.
He said the Ducks are finishing higher than the Oilers because the Ducks are going to try harder. That's the Coles Notes version of what Johnny
Vibes
said.
team. All vibes team. He said the Oilers would finish 4th. I just couldn't believe it when I was listening to it that he said that. It just really threw me off. And I love Johnny. I've met Johnny. We had a fantastic time.
I love Johnny. I love
He's
Johnny.
Such a good guy. But he does this shit all the time, and someone other than Colby has to call him out for it. You can't say that. That's just not good television. It's bad stuff, Johnny. Go check out Morning Cup of Hockey.
Yeah, that is a really fun
It's a
show.
really
I was
good
on the
show.
other day. They have, honestly, of the shows on our network, they get the best guests.
Oh, yeah.
Their guest list is
their
unreal.
summer guest list was crazy.
It was insane.
Joey Decord, Derek Stefan, Brandon Montour's been on the show a
Yeah.
bunch. Pat Maroon was a regular appearance.
While he played in the
He was
NHL.
on, they're trying to get another guy this year. No spoilers. See?
I got this from the Puckin' Around podcast. Who hosts it? I don't know. I think it's an Edmonton thing.
Oh, the pucking around. Hell yeah.
Classic Puckin' Around podcast
That's
stuff.
a good one.
Who hosts this? I think it's guys in Edmonton.
Okay.
And
It's
it's
Menzies'
Menzies' show. Menzies is still here, by the way. They have a tweet. You ready for this? Kevin Carey has said on his show this morning,
The big program.
he was supposed to host an event on Monday morning in the Hall of Fame room at Rogers Place. But now OEG has pushed it to Tuesday because the room's being used Monday morning last minute.
What? For the podcast listeners, they're zooming in.
No mic in that camera.
It's going to happen on Monday. Monday. Take the morning off. Lock the fuck in.
All right.
There we go.
There's no way he puts that back in a relatively decent spot, but
No, I preferred it that way. I like it that
that's
way.
good. So yeah, that's also what's trending. I got one more for you in what's trending. Jane Goodall, the gorilla lady, died. If you had, and in honor of her, this is my question. Dogs and cats are excluded. If you had the ability to talk to one animal, what would it be? Anything from the animal kingdom, I'll even say.
Now, this is quite the question. What would you do? Give me...
Wasps. Because I would negotiate with them on behalf of the human race. I'd be like, listen, we're not going to touch you guys. Maybe we have some sort of a deal where like everyone just puts out like a little cup of something and the wasps know to go there and they leave us as a race alone. We negotiate with the wasps and it would be all because of me.
It feels like such a waste of time.
No, dude, you know what? This summer wasn't bad. Remember last summer when the wasps were really, really bad?
You just got to put a cup of orange juice in your backyard. That's it.
Sure, they drown
That
themselves.
doesn't help on the golf courses when they're crawling into your beer. I hate them, but I am
fair.
willing to negotiate with them. So that's mine.
That's a good one. I would probably go with. Wouldn't you want to talk with like a crazy animal though, like something that you know could rip you apart just to get inside their head a little bit,
Like a gorilla.
like a tiger.
Lion's
A
King of the
lion.
Jungle. Lion's King of the
Lion
Jungle.
King of the Jungle.
But my thing, you're never going to casually run into one.
Well, if I could talk to them, I might go find one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's just go Lucy the elephant. Final answer, Steve.
I think I might talk to sharks because I feel like they get a bad rap.
How are you going to get there?
I don't know.
You'd have to figure
That wasn't
out.
part of the question.
Yeah, that's fair. All
You know,
birds, yeah.
Your reaction then reminded me. Have you ever seen the movie The Other Guys?
Yes.
And it was like, pack of wild tuna. The way you said that was if like you were asking me like a serious question. Yeah, I would go with
Someone said
a lion.
wasps aren't animals. I said anything in the animal kingdom.
Wasps,
So.
of course, they're an animal. We're all
So
animals.
they're insects. Well, yeah, we're
They're
all
still an
yeah, they're
animal.
not mammals, but you're right, they're animals.
They're animals. Come on, Bob.
Again, fighting Amish elephants. Imagine rolling up to the bar with a freaking elephant. But
Yeah.
like, you aren't just gonna find one around. So
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, we have that now,
chat's
too.
on the screen now.
Yeah.
Whoa,
YouTube
that's
chat
so
brought to you
good.
by our friends at Odd Company Brewing and the Nation Beer Everyday Lager, a crisp, clean lager crafted not just for game day, but for every day. Find
Wow.
one at one of their 2 locations. Mega J Squirrels. What the hell are they up to?
Hey, it's a good question.
They always got somewhere to be. They're always working.
They are always working. I don't think you get much out of them though. I don't think there's a lot going on up there. They're
That's
just
fair.
like buzzing all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe the mice issues I've had in my backyard. Got another one today.
You could negotiate with them,
Yeah, negotiate. Go away.
and I'll give you this.
I'll
What do
stop
they eat?
killing you.
Cheese?
Hopefully the poison I have laid out for them.
That's fair.
Cheese is a big one. Peanut butter.
Yeah. But like, again, you could be like, hey guys, you go live in that forest over there, and I'll just put this little cup of peanut butter here for you. You come get it whenever you want, but you fuck off.
Yeah, so maybe
The idea of
wasp isn't such an
negotiating
idea.
is interesting. All right.
Hugh backs up what we said.
Oh, that's true. He was talking to Frank when Kevin said that. Interesting.
Who's Frank?
Interesting. Which Frank? The dog? Anyways, let's talk quickly tonight for our friends at Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary. Bet365, yes.
We have our futures draft tomorrow.
Oh, we're doing that tomorrow?
We got to do it tomorrow because Monday, I don't know. I feel like
We could
Monday
do it
could get
Monday.
busy. I would like to do it tomorrow. I think it's a
Okay.
fun Friday activity.
Who else do we have tomorrow? No one yet.
But
We're doing a Vegas preview, but yeah, sure.
It should only take us 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So
that's
Eric-
fine. We'll do it instead of a guest, I think.
Okay, sounds good.
3? Or what are we?
We'll do
just one?
5.
5 each?
Or do you want to do 4? I think 4 is a good number.
4.
4?
Yeah.
It's me in the middle. It's
Yeah,
me in
sure.
the middle.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard of this, we're each going to draft a prop on Bet365. We'll come up with the rules later. We'll spare everyone the details. But we're going to see who drafts the best team of futures bets for the year. Then we'll track them all year.
Yeah.
I'm actually stealing this idea for DFO Live.
It's a fun little thing.
It's an awesome thing to do. Yeah.
We'll make one rule. If you want, you can have one futures parlay where you pick like 2 division winners.
No.
No,
not
don't
straight.
like it.
Straight
bets.
only.
Okay, straight only.
Straight up, homie.
Okay, sounds good. Outvoted.
All
That's
right.
fine.
For Bet365 tonight, MLB playoffs. Eric Sabrowski and the Cleveland Guardians are underway, taking on the Detroit Tigers. That's game 3 of that series. Game 3 between the Cubs and Padres goes at 3 o'clock. Yankees Red Sox is tonight at 6.
Exciting.
Ah.
I thought
Let's
I thought the Red Sox had it at the end of the game. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
They had a good. They almost got it out the park.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
deep drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday night football tonight is Niners Rams. Niners missing everybody except Christian McCaffrey.
If you would have told me that at the beginning of the year, that he's the only one left,
It's a
I would
weird
have said
twist.
your lineup.
I thought his
Weird
career was over the way people were talking
Yeah.
about this other year.
This is a weird one for me. I never do this. I'm going under.
See, I am also going under for one reason and one reason only. Rowdy Rhymes. You guys been following him on
I
Twitter?
saw him. Yeah,
That guy.
he's a machine.
I don't think people are saying that I've never seen him lose. Tonight, Rowdy Rhymes is going under 44.5 or whatever the line is now. That's what he tweeted.
Can I give you a crazy parlay?
Please.
Go ahead.
This doesn't correlate, but that's why it's so juicy. Puka Nacua to score 2, Christian McCaffrey to score 2, and the under.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
So between those two, you're getting 28 points. You still have a 16.5 point cushion. $5 into 2,100.
I feel like I'd like Devontae over Puka, Puka don't score that many touchdowns.
He's about to.
Puka has 2 touchdowns this year. Devontae, 3.
2 for Puka, 2 for CMC, under 44.5. Come on.
That's maybe a little sprinkle on that.
Right,
Now
it's
that you
worth-
said it,
I've put $5 on worse things. Actually, arguably not, but
I'm going to put $5 on Otto Lepinen.
Liam, I am stunned by this. I thought you were kidding.
No, I would
There
never
he
lie
is.
to you
why
guys.
is he in there?
He's ahead
I
of
don't know.
so many
hell?
It
names.
just shows the power we have in this market.
What the hell is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? All right.
Those names are like some guys on there could really win.
Jackson Lacombe.
Like if Charlie McAvoy is a crazy year,
Yeah, he can
he's
win.
more than capable. He's plus 20,000. Otto Lepinen, what the fuck?
So smash that one, people. Yeah.
I like the under tonight, though. I like Puka's props. There you go.
Yep. I agree.
CMC rushing and receiving is probably good, too.
He's like the only player I have left on fantasy right now.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I'm
taking the
fingers
Rams in my
crossed.
survivor pool.
Oh, that's a good one.
I bet Kendrick Bourne gets some yards tonight, and that might be a place to bet. He's the only one left.
On Bet365, you can do like a daily lineups thing.
Yep.
I went with Tongs, the tight end, as a guy. You could low value. You could really go get him.
Did you make him your captain?
I like
made
doing those.
Puka my captain. I got Puka and McCaffrey on the same team.
Because of tongues.
With Puka's my.
All right, that's a wrap on today's edition of the show, everybody. Shout out to Menzies. Shout out to our boy JD Young as well. We'll be back tomorrow doing a Vegas preview and continuing to talk a little Oilers. Enjoy your Thursday. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.